Dear students, yesterday we studied short-run production function and three variables related to short-run production function. Can you remember the factors or three terms that related to short-run production function? Priya. Okay, very good. Total product, average product and marginal products. Today we discuss another law in economics, that is law of variable proportion. Before defining this law, let us explain an example. Suppose a bakery owner produces bread and three factors he uses: one labor, one land, one labor and 1 kilogram of wheat flour, that is raw material, and the number of breads that he produces is 10. And in the first column variable input is given and total product, average product and marginal products, and there are fixed input and variable inputs. These two are called fixed inputs, land and labor, while raw material is variable inputs. In the short run we studied the producer is changing only the variable inputs, keeping all other inputs constant. So in this example we write the values of variable input only. There are fixed variable inputs, right? And when he uses first kilogram of wheat flour, he can produce 10 number of breads, and he increases the variable input to 2. Then what happens to total products? Total product increases at an increasing rate. Why should I say increases at an increasing rate? Because the increase is more than the initial increase, more than original output, that is 10. When he uses second kilogram of variable input, total product increases from 10 to 24. Till he uses fifth variable input, total product increases at an increasing rate. Right. And after fifth variable input, what happens to total product? Again he increases variable input. Total product increases but at a diminishing rate. It increased from 70 to 78 only. It is lower than the rate of the initial increase, that is 10. Increased by only 8 breads. And again it increased by 6, and again total product remains constant. And again when he increases variable input to 9 kilogram and 10 kilogram, what happens to total products? Adul Sunny, what happens to total product? From 84, it decreased to 81 and again 76. Now there may be a question in your minds. Why does it happens? In the initial stage, total product increases at an increasing rate, and then increasing at a diminishing rate, then decreases. From this analysis we can define what is law of variable proportion. When a producer uses more and more units of variable input with fixed quantities of other inputs, total product after a point becomes smaller and smaller. This is called the law of variable proportion. And we can have three stages of law of variable proportion. The first stage is called increasing returns to a factor. That means total product increases at an increasing rate. And the second stage is diminishing returns to a factor. And the third stage is negative returns to a factor. And let us see what happens to AP and marginal product in the first stage. In the first stage, we already seen that total product increases at an increasing rate. Then what happens to average product? average product increases from 10, 12, 13, 14. That means average product is increasing. Then what happens to marginal product? Marginal product is also increasing. Then in the second stage, how do AP and MB behave? What happens to average product? Average product decreases 13, 12, 10.5, etc. Then what happens to marginal product? Marginal product is also decreasing and reaches 0. Right. Then in the third stage, what happens to total product? Total product starts decreasing. From 84 it decreased to 81. Again it decreased to 76. Then what happens to average product? Average product is also decreasing. Then what happens to marginal product? Marginal product becomes negative. And these are the features of 3 stages. Then how does this happen? In the initial stage, why the total product increases at an increasing rate? Can you imagine the reason? The main reason is that in the initial stages, the variable input the producer can use more efficiently, and the fixed input also fuller utilization is occurring in the first stage. That is why total product increases at an increasing rate. Then why does diminishing and negative return occurs? Because here total or fixed inputs reached its maximum capacity, and again when we are using variable input, the efficiency of both variable input and fixed inputs decreases. That is the reason for diminishing and negative returns. And you no need of by hearting this table. Only you should define what is law of variable proportion, and you should study how to show this law diagrammatically. That I will show you. First you draw x-axis showing variable inputs, and on y-axis total product, average product and marginal products. Right. First draw the total product here in the first stage. What happens to total product in the first stage? Total product increases at an increasing rate. Total product here, when a curve goes upwards, it means increases, because total product is measured on y-axis. This is the first stage of total product. Increases at an increasing rate. The curve is more steeper. Then the second stage, what happens to total product? Total product increases but at a diminishing rate. The curve is more flatter. And this is the second stage. And in the third stage, what happens to total product? Total product decreases. This is the total product curve, right? Total product curve. Then you have to draw a vertical line from this to x-axis. From here and from here you draw a perpendicular line to x-axis. Right. Then you have to draw average product here. What happens to average product here in the first stage? This is the first stage, second stage and the third stage. What happens to average product in the first stage? Average product here also increases. Average product increases and reaches maximum at the end of first stage. This is the average product. Then what happens to average product in the second stage? Average product decreases. Then in the third stage, what happens to average product? Average product again decreases from 9, 7, again decreases. Right. This is the graphical representation of average products. Then marginal products. Draw the curve between total product and average product. Then what happens to marginal product in the first stage? Average product also increases. Average product is also increasing and reaches maximum, and in the first stage, at the end of first stage, average product and marginal products become equal. Right. And in the second stage, what happens to marginal product? Marginal product declines and becomes zero. At the end of second stage, marginal product becomes zero. Then in the third stage, what happens? Marginal product becomes negative or below the x-axis. This is the way how we can draw law of variable proportion graphically. This is called first stage, this is called second stage, and this is called third stage. What is the name of the first stage? Adul. Yes, very good. Increasing returns to a factor. Then Ashwin, what is the name of second stage? Very good. It is diminishing returns to a factor. What is the third stage? Negative returns to a factor. In the first stage, total product increases at an increasing rate. Both average product and marginal products are increasing. Where does the first stage ends? First stage ends when MB and AP are equal. When MB and AP are equal, this is AP and this is MB. And the second stage, what happens to total product? Total product increases at a diminishing rate, and average product is decreasing, marginal product is decreasing. Where does the second stage ends? Second stage ends when marginal product becomes zero and TP becomes maximum. In the diagram also, in the second stage, MB becomes zero and total product becomes maximum, right? And in the third stage, what happens to total product? Total product decreases. Then what happens to average product? Average product is decreasing. Here also average product is decreasing. And what happens to marginal product in the third stage? Marginal product becomes negative. Clear? You have to study how to draw this diagram and explain the three stages of law of variable proportion. This is also called, this law is also called diminishing marginal products. Law of diminishing marginal products. Then what are the topics that we studied today? First we studied what is law of variable proportion, and then we studied three stages of law of variable proportion, and then we studied how to represent law of variable proportion graphically. I hope all you understood the topic clearly. Thank you.